This week on the Convo podcast, D.Bail and special guests SKILLE and Mr. Taboo Topics talk the year 2020, the current pandemic, new projects, new music, IG battles, and more. This is the Convo, powered by GrustleMedia.com.
All right, so let me just give y'all a proper introduction real quick. So first and foremost, we got my main man on the line. His name is he goes by a number of different names. One of them being Eskille from Philly, aka Deuce Infinite, aka Skeleto Vision. He's a prolific writer, and he's also a prolific commentator on different subjects in the world, including battle rap, including studio production, and a couple of other things. And he's also known as the man with the golden voice. But we'll get back to that a little bit later. And I'd like to thank you, sir, for your time today, joining us on the Convo podcast. He also is an entrepreneur, record label owner, and has a lot of experience in the music industry. How you doing today, Mr. Eskille?
Hey, I appreciate all the accolades that you give me, brother man, and I appreciate the time to discuss some things.
No doubt about it. And also featured on this Convo podcast, we have a man of light and mystery, I like to say, but he's definitely an objective thinker. He's a guy that questions a lot of society's ills, and we appreciate him for that. He goes by the nickname Taboo Topics, or the professional name of Taboo Topics. I don't know if that's still what you go by in terms of your moniker, sir. Is that correct?
Mr. Taboo Topics.
Mr. Taboo Topics. He's a New Jersey native, but he's representing in Georgia as of now. He also is an entrepreneur. Like I said, he's a free thinker. And at one point he was vlogging, and I'm sure he's going to be working on some new material soon. But we're happy to have Mr. Taboo Topics on the line today. Two intelligent gentlemen that I'm sure are going to give us a lot of insight on a couple of different topics. Most notably, what we're talking about right now is the pandemic coronavirus of COVID-19. So I wanted to ask you both individually how you're coping and, what you're doing during this current time. And it's interesting because we have Eskille, he's in Pennsylvania. We have Mr. Taboo Topics, he's in Georgia. So it might be two staunch differences in terms of how they're reacting to the virus. Were you willing to go out and get a haircut, get a shape up?
Nah, I don't need to do any of that. I do all the stuff myself pretty much. My hair is braided now, so I just get shape up, stuff like that. So I don't really have to rely on any of that for services. But there was an interesting thing I had saw on Friday that they had Kemp had issued an executive order to roll it back for 14 more days. So I don't know if everything opened up or not because I haven't really been out to see. I'm not gonna go out there, test the waters. But I haven't heard anything from anybody that I know down here about anything being open.
True indeed.
It was like a 12 a.m. type of thing that they did. And then maybe he pushed it back 14 days, but all was good as far as I know.
That's good to hear, man. That's good to hear. How about you, Eskille? How things holding up out in PA?
Well, yeah, it's pretty quiet out here, man. I ain't in this. I'm over by Pittsburgh, like an hour from Pittsburgh. And, probably like 2 hours. And, yeah, it's pretty quiet out here, man. I don't see no big rush to the hospitals and all of that. The governor been mad lenient with the whole restrictions and things like that as far as making somebody go out and lifting the stay-at-home orders and things like that. The way they said they was going to do it out here, they was going to do it piece by piece, more like starting with the north and then come over to the south, and I'm like in the middle. And it ain't really been that many cases out here, honestly, that they're saying, at least on the news and all of that. And I'll be dolo anyway, bro. So I'm kind of an introvert myself. So this ain't really affected me as far as like mentally and all of that. And plus, I'd have been in situations where I couldn't go outside. So it didn't seem nothing new for me right now. But yeah, man. I mean, I don't know, man. It seems a little weird in certain places and certain things like that. But I'm in Trump land, and I guess they all want to go back to work anyway. But I don't know.
Interesting. And here in New Jersey, we are the second most affected state in the country. So we are on lockdown until May 15th as of now, although we all think that's going to get extended. And it has had somewhat of an impact on myself. I'm about 15 minutes away from Manhattan, and I have not been to a store since March 16th. And I've been just doing my best to stay indoors and try to flatten the curve. And if Amazon had an award for Customer of the Month, I'm sure I would definitely qualify at this time, because everything that I'm doing is involving Amazon. It's definitely sad to see. Do you guys know anybody personally that has been affected with the coronavirus?
Yeah, my people, Oatmeal, man. My boy Oatmeal, he was in Jersey. Also, I don't know if he's still in playing something, but he passed away from the corona, and he had underlying issues, also health issues.
Mm-hmm.
But that kind of hit, all of us, because he wasn't no old head or nothing like that. I think he was probably like a couple of years older than me.
Okay.
Well, I might be a old head, but but yeah, so that's kind of crazy right there. So it does hit home sometimes.
Yeah.
And on my end, my stepdad, who is 90 years old, got diagnosed with it while he was in a rehab facility in Jersey. But he's doing fine. It's been almost 3 weeks now, and he has no symptoms or anything. So that's a good sign.
Yeah, I mean, I have some
quarantine for 2 weeks because she works at Rutgers and she was with a professor.
Okay.
Contracted it. So, but nobody has thankfully hasn't passed away from it yet.
Yeah, I know a number of close people to me that have been affected. Nobody that I know has passed away personally. Although we did see the terrible news about rapper Fred the Godson, who passed away a couple days ago due to complications. And we know he had underlying health conditions, most notably asthma. But did you guys hear about the death of Fred the Godson, and how did you feel about that?
Yeah, I heard about it, man. Rest in peace, Fred Godson, and my boy Oatmeal also. It's kind of wild, y'all. I thought he was going to do all right, though, because they was talking about they put him on a ventilator a few weeks ago, and I didn't really hear nothing else about it, so I thought he was getting better, me personally.
Me too.
Yeah, I heard about it, but I didn't know that's what he had died from. But, yeah, that's sad.
Yeah.
Another great talent lost too early.
Yeah, definitely. Really talented lyricist, and somebody was saying, how he really kept it New York, even throughout all the different eras that have transpired, where lyricism is not too much in style anymore. He always kept it there, and just gave us a lot of metaphors and similes, and just really kept it hip hop, and we definitely didn't give him his flowers enough as we should have while he was here. And unfortunately now people will start to recognize the greatness that he had. But I was going back to listen to some of his records, and I said, yeah, dude was definitely not even just a fan of hip hop, but a student of hip hop. You could tell, like, he really put a lot of effort and a lot of energy into his bars. And that's something else that I wanted to discuss and talk about while we were here, in terms of passing time within the pandemic that we're going through right now. On the Righteous Tongues podcast, the other podcast I have with my younger brother and younger cousin, we talk about how a lot of old heads are so disenfranchised. And I guess, as Eskille just mentioned, we are the older heads, anything between, let's say, 35 and 50 are the old heads right now in hip-hop. How we have not found newer artists to gravitate to, or we feel like the talent level has been diluted so much that we can't appreciate it. Mr. Taboo Topics has gravitated to a younger artist that he feels like manifest all the traditional things that we love about hip-hop. And you made somewhat of a shocking claim, Mr. Taboo Topics. You said that this album by this artist, album of the year, but you also said this was the first album as a quote unquote old head in the whole entire musical listening in your lifetime. This is the first album that you have never skipped anything, which was shocking to me.
I anticipating who this artist is.
Joyner Lucas.
Talk to us, Taboo Topics. Talk to us.
Okay.
Joyner is a new school cat, but he's been at it for a minute. You know what I mean? And he definitely has the stuff that we grown accustomed to. You know, he's definitely a protege, Eminem, Jay-Z. You know, he has a flow. He has every flow. He can do it all. You know what I mean? Great storytelling, metaphors. You know, and his videos are one of a kind, I would say. You know, every video he has is unique in its own way. He really does a good job with his visuals and, you know, the video going along with the song. And he's kicked down the door. You know, I mean, he's fully independent. You know,
True.
Running through telly, and he just got a partnership with Sony, and he's putting other artists on from New England. You know, first, but he's gonna be doing some other stuff, man. He's really a talent, man.
You know, I have to agree with that. You know, I mean, I ain't listened to his album or nothing like that, but
okay.
I do feel him now. For some reason, I don't look at him as like from the new generation for some reason. Probably because how he do rap and all of that. I know he's a new artist, but I don't look at him as like a youngin, like one of the. I don't know. I guess I just don't look at him as one of them new era rappers, yo. But he is ill though, and I was just sitting up here, see, I don't know if we want to get into this topic like that, but I was just sitting up there thinking about this the other day, because I actually sat up there and tried to listen to some of this music, because honestly, I don't listen to this new singy, all that, yo. Not saying that, no, I'm gonna get to the point, but anyway, the one song that I heard was, I just figured out who it was this Roddy Ricch, yo.
The box.
Yeah, whatever that song is. I just figured out who sung the song like maybe 2 weeks ago, and I've been hearing it for months. And the reason why I didn't know, because I kept asking every little kid that was playing it, because it's little kids playing. I'm like, who that? They like, I don't know.
Yeah.
And so that's why I never knew who it was, because nobody could tell me the name of the person doing it. But I'm sitting up here listening to these songs, man, from these new rappers, man, and it's just the level of music into it, the level of art is real low. To the point to where back then you couldn't do punches and anything like that. These punches are so out there that you know exactly when they punching, and it's to the point to where they punching without breathing. So you go into it's so choppy and there's no flow to the words. It's just a flow to like 3 or 4 words at a time. But man, it's hard to explain.
Well, Eskille, before you go further with that, can you just explain to our audience what a punch is for those that have never been in the studio before?
Well, a punch is when you're doing a rhyme or you're doing a rap, and you do maybe 2 bars of a rap, and then you stop, and then you start recording again, maybe another 2, 4 bars or whatever it is. It's basically a stopping and recording, and then coming back to record again. And usually when you punch, you don't know that you're punching in. Like artists in the 90s punched in, but you didn't know. Like Big Pun, they said he had to punch. He would do like a bar, 2 bars at a time. But when you listen to it, you couldn't really tell because his voice was the same and the cadence was the same. And here they'll punch and be screaming and then come back and record and be talking all low. Like, who does that, man? Like, the level of art that's going into making the music is making it bad. I don't think that is bad music because the beats is good. The melodies is all right. But the level of actually making it and the studying of the art of it is making it bad. And people that grew up on the art, studying the art, the technique of why something's hot, why something's not, we don't understand why people like this. Or I don't understand why people like this music, yo. I don't.
I
Well, one thing I can say is that the beat
The beat,
definitely
yeah.
something
Beat is crazy.
Just keeps, and I mean, I'm a sucker for a nice beat, but if you have some whack lyrics, like it's just not gonna. That's why I think I appreciate Joyner so much, because his beats are dope, his lyrics are dope, his concepts are dope. You know what I'm saying? It's just all around. He got the total package.
You don't even know what these people is saying, man. What is Uzi Vert saying, man? Like, what is he saying?
Who knows? It's like with Designer, you know, and that's actually how I got introduced to Joyner. Is when he did the Panda remix.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And then he did the Gucci Gang remix. And then he did the Mask Off remix. You know what I'm saying? And it's just, you know. But going back to the question about what we've been listening to during the quarantine, I mean, Machine Gun Kelly. I mean, he's been putting out some decent work.
Okay.
Lately, you know what I mean? Juice WRLD just put out R.I.P. Juice WRLD. His team just put out a new record for him, and I don't really listen to Juice WRLD like that. I'm only aware of him because of Joyner's ADHD.
Okay.
Because he did that type of Juice WRLD flow on that one record.
Mm-hmm.
And but this song right here, you know, is definitely a special one. And like I said, the video for that one is it's definitely one of those heart tuggers, man. Because, you know, knowing what he was going through, you know, when they're hearing the songs, kind of like, sort of like a prophecy type of thing for him. So, I don't know if you guys checked that out yet, but I definitely recommend listening to that one. Righteous.
And that's Juice WRLD, you said?
Yeah.
Yeah, Juice WRLD is actually one of the younger artists that I do appreciate, or did appreciate. God bless the dead, rest in peace to Juice WRLD. He actually could freestyle. You know, there's videos of him on Tim Westwood and on Flex just really going crazy. And that's one of those arts I feel like as an MC, that's one of the standards that we were held to as rappers. Like, we had to be able to freestyle. If somebody throws on a beat, you had to be able to spit something. And Juice WRLD definitely exhibited the talent that I could appreciate. So he was one of those artists that could do both. And he had kind of like songs that crossed over. So, you know, he was an artist that unfortunately got caught up. We all know that the opioid addictions and abuse is very serious with this current generation. And I feel like we lost a great talent. But I actually did like some of his music, and especially his freestyling.
Yeah, I was feeling Juice WRLD too, and I did see the freestyle on Tim Westwood, and also I like the joint that he did with M. Yo, that was hot. Even though he only did the hook, but it was still.
No doubt, no doubt.
Yeah, and Hobson too. Hobson came out of he went away for a while. Went over to Thailand to chill out, get away from the music industry, dealing with all the craziness that's involved with that.
True.
And wound up getting quarantined there, and he came out with the COVID Mansion.
Okay.
Which is knocking. You know, he's another one that has protege, you know, Eminem, stuff like that. And his wordplay is crazy, you know, a bit silly and stuff, but you can definitely see the M print on him. But he's a youngin'. He's been in the game for 10 years, though, but, you know, I mean, he's over, what, 30, maybe 30 now?
Right. Conflict that MGK and Eminem went through a year and a half ago, does that have any impact on how you listen to the music? Are you one of those people that, like, pick sides, or it doesn't matter?
I pick sides as far as good music. If you make good music, I fuck with you.
Okay.
But I mean, MGK definitely has stepped it up. You know, he's very versatile, which I didn't know. He's doing a lot of different singing now. I think he's making a rock album with a kid from, I think it's from England, Youngblood.
Okay.
They got a nice couple songs together. You know, so it's a different tone, but like I like music. I like good music, so you know.
I hear you, man.
Yeah, MGK's definitely stepping it up.
It's not popular opinion, but I felt like his diss track towards Eminem was great. You know, I loved it. I loved it more than Eminem's reply back, the kill shot. I truly did. I just thought he really swagged that beat out, and you know, I know people are gonna say Eminem is always gonna win by default when it comes to his battles with other rappers, but I really think MGK, he held his own on that rap devil for real.
Yeah, he definitely did. He wasn't scared. He wasn't scared. Most people wouldn't even have did it going against him because you know what you don't know what you're gonna get when you get him.
True story, man. So we got Mr. Taboo Topics talking about Joyner Lucas, Hobson, and Machine Gun Kelly as his picks during this quarantine pandemic situation. Eskille, man, what you got on your playlist right now?
My playlist is beats. I told you, man. I don't really listen to these joints. You know, the latest things that I'll be listening to, I listen to Royce. His new album, his last album was hot. I mess with that right there.
No doubt.
I'm always checking for King Los with new freestyles he be dropping. That's probably about it, man. Like,
And we know you're also a cultural commentator of sorts when it comes to the battle rap scene. Was there anything as a recent that caught your attention in terms of the rap battles?
Yeah, I mean, they've been doing these quarantine battles, and honestly, I ain't been catching them, like real talk.
Okay.
I didn't mean it, but I like the live, man. Like, I'm not really into the whole battling on IG. Like that don't do it for me.
Mm-hmm.
As far as not battle rapping, spitting bars against somebody, it's basically, I don't know. It's just not good for me. I'm not interested in that. But yeah, that's about it, man. They've been doing these quarantine battles, and I heard the Head Ice one was good. Head Ice, T-Rex, he did some nonsense though, spitting mixtape bars from 3 months ago off a mixtape for a battle rap. So
boo.
that's what I'm saying. And this game, man, in all aspects of music, is just getting real nonsensy.
That's for sure, man.
This might be a little dated, but Tory Lanez and Joyner went at it for a while.
Yeah, talk about it.
Yeah, that was fun. Then they came together and did, a record together. But as far as the IG, yeah, I haven't been into that too much. I've been getting a lot of, people, watch this, sending me links and stuff. But and The Weeknd too also dropped an album a couple weeks ago, right before Joyner dropped his. So yeah, I got him as the top R&B album of the year. So him and Joyner are my dudes for this year.
Yeah, you've been listening to The Weeknd since his early mixtapes, man.
Yeah, XO.
Yeah, I rock since The Weeknd too, yo. Like, I rock since The Weeknd.
That's my boy, and it's funny because Joyner's anti-drug, and The Weeknd is.
Yeah. That's crazy. Now, Eskille, you said that you were listening to beats, and I also want this Convo episode to be an opportunity for you both to promote your respective platforms. What are you currently listening to beats for, and what are you working on as an artist, as a producer?
Well, being that I ain't putting nothing out in years, man, I'm still finding which avenue I really want to go and reintroducing myself out into the music world, and not really out there trying to do something, but just putting music out in general.
Gotcha.
So I'm doing a couple different projects. I got one for the ladies, I ain't gonna get into that one. I got one about my teenage years, before the RNN and a little bit in between the RNN. That project is basically done. I just got to do the final mixes with that. Also got another joint that I'm working on called Two Sides of a Coin, which is basically positive and negative outlook on different situations. Like one song is going to be positive, then the next song is going to be negative. So I'm working on that one right there. I'm also working on another project, which is like some 2 Live Crew, just some freak nasty, XXX rated type joint club, doing something like that. I'm also doing what was the other one? I forgot the other one that quick. My bad. My bad. I'm gonna get myself together. I'm just in the midst of doing my meds, man.
No doubt.
Medical out here to get myself together.
No doubt.
But yeah, those are a few of the things that I'm working on as far as that right there.
All right, that's what's up. Mr. Taboo Topics, man. At one point, you did have a YouTube page, and I know you do post a lot on your social media networks. What do you have that you're working on right now currently?
Right now I'm working on getting some equipment so I can actually get back to my YouTube channel. I mean, it's still up. I just haven't done anything. Life got in the way. I need to upgrade a couple things, so
No
I
doubt.
did that. So now I'm trying to get some equipment to go, you know, green screen. I can add some graphics and some, better quality. This more recent, French Montana, and what he said. Did you hear about his remarks about he has more hits than
Kendrick Lamar.
Kendrick?
I'm glad you brought that up. I'm glad you brought that up. And if you don't mind, let me add a little piece to that. A lot of people thought that French Montana was being disrespectful, and I don't think he was being disrespectful at all. Because without a doubt, I mean, music is subjective, right? So there are a lot of people that say, this artist is better than this artist, and they have every right to say it. And people have certain reasons why they believe certain artists are better than others. We all know Kendrick Lamar is a prolific lyricist, that he's probably one of the best artists today, period, out of all genres. French Montana doesn't get that same respect as a lyricist. However, if you put both of them on a stage and they start rocking out songs, okay? Put lyrical acumen aside, okay? Put the bars aside. Just talking about rocking a crowd. I think that French Montana has a lot more hits than people realize. Because I've been in a club where DJs have spun 4 to 5 French Montana records back to back, and it's went crazy. Seen French Montana at Summer Jam, crowd knew every word, they went crazy. Now, if you're talking about just straight hip hop, the bells and whistles, the lyrics and the bars, I don't think Kendrick Lamar can lose to anybody right now. I mean, sans like some of the greats that's still rapping, like a Nas or Jay-Z or Eminem. But I mean, I think that French Montana, maybe the way that he delivered it, it just didn't come out in that way. But as an artist, you're supposed to have confidence in yourself. And I think that was another point that he was trying to stress. Like, why wouldn't I say that I have hits? Why wouldn't I say that I'm better than somebody else? That's just the competitiveness of our culture. That's just how it is. So, yeah, French is a sleeper, but a lot of people, you put his songs on back to back, you might be surprised. And like you said, sometimes the beats alone, the vibe alone can get it. That's just my personal opinion, though.
Yeah, I rock a lot of French Montana. And like you said, I do post a lot on my social media. And like usual, being Mr. Taboo Topics, my opinion is not usually something most people would agree with right off the bat. But once I get to explain and break down why I feel the way I do about it, people usually say, "Oh, okay, fair enough." But yeah, French Montana just released Assalamu Alaikum.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he's singing most of the song in Arabic. I mean, he's out in the desert. I mean, he's riding ATVs like that. That goes hard,
Mm-hmm.
And I don't have one Kendrick song in my playlist. So for me, you know what I mean? I recognize him as a great lyricist, yeah, but like, I have to be in the mood for his shit.
Okay, that's fair.
Frenchie, I mean, I can drive, do what I do, you know what I'm saying, and I be grooving. So that's just, like you said, subjective. That's my subjective opinion towards that situation. I've been messing with French since the Smack DVD.
Right, yeah, you've been there, and that's the thing too. A lot of casual hip hop listeners just are really not familiar with French Montana's catalog. So that's one other thing that I would say as well. Like, if I don't know somebody's catalog, I'd rather just say, like when you were introducing Joyner Lucas to me, I had to be honest and say I haven't heard a lot of music from the brother. What I have heard, I'm impressed with, but I can't sit here and say I have an in-depth knowledge about what he's doing. So on this Facebook group, One Mic, where we talk about music, shout out to One Mic and all the brothers and sisters up in there, somebody had commented about this particular topic, and they said French doesn't even have hits that left New York City. And I kind of looked at that and I was like, the dude has a worldwide hit, Unforgettable with Sway Lee, that has over 1 billion views on YouTube. Like, if you don't like French Montana as a rapper, I could rap better than French Montana in my own opinion. But that doesn't mean that I have hit records. If you don't like French Montana, your bias is against French Montana, that's one thing. But don't say that the man doesn't have hits when clearly he does have hit records. Whether or not they're better than Kendrick Lamar, that's subjective, but the man definitely does have hit records. So I just like when people make these debates and these arguments, at least make sure that you know the person's catalog that you're talking about, so that way you can make a fair assessment, even if you think it's going to be a landslide. You know, when somebody listed French Montana's hit records, like just at least 10 that came out within the past 8 or 9 years, I was like, yo, these are some bangers right here. I can't hold you. He definitely got some bangers. Now, if he's a dope lyricist, I couldn't put him in a category as a Kendrick, as a Nas, as a J, as an M. Never. But just as making hits, yeah, he definitely got some bangers. Definitely got some bangers.
Yeah, he got some hits. I mean, I think he do got more hits than Kendrick, me personally. But I mean, I'm talking like hits as in numbers, like platinum numbers as far as singles.
Okay.
I think he a little bit more. But then, I don't know, because a lot of his is collabs too, but
definitely. Yeah, true.
Regardless.
That is the other criticism that I was hearing, that, you know, maybe one French Montana hit that he wasn't a feature on or something. He featured other people on his stuff, so it's not like he's just always the feature. He features a lot of other artists.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah, that is true.
Now, I would go out on a limb and say that, you know, Kendrick Lamar definitely by far has better albums than French Montana. You know, as a whole, I couldn't say French Montana has a better album than Kendrick Lamar. But just in terms of just, you know, Lucy's hit records, straight records here and there, he got more than a few. He definitely got more than a few.
Kendrick is a better artist than French Montana.
Of course.
French Montana is just French Montana has a better is basically a hook maker. Like, that's what he's good for, the hook. Like, nah. And who knows if he even writing those hooks that he even saying. So I wouldn't even put it the same level as Kendrick, yo.
Yeah,
now, as far as being involved with the song and all of that, then yeah, you can get credit just for being involved with the song, but any avenue that you put him up against with Kendrick was slaught on any of them, yo. Mad City, he could just play Mad City against all French Montana mixtape joints, bro. Like, come on, bro. They don't need to be talking about this right here. I don't even know how that even came up to be a topic in the first place, yo. French Montana, Kendrick Lamar. That don't even sound right.
French started it.
Yeah, but you said French had more hits though.
Yeah, he do.
Okay.
As far as like hits, but I can't credit that because first of all, it may be 1 or 2 songs that is French, and then who knows if he's even writing the things that he's collabing with people with. He could just be in the studio. Oh, that sounds good. Yo, French, go in there and say that. All right. Like, come on, man. We gonna keep it real on some artistry. Then French ain't no way in the in it. Now, if it's just mainstream, just hits or whatever, yeah. You want to go pop songs, yeah.
No doubt.
I'm still thinking about Kendrick's verse on his on that cipher on BET.
Yeah.
That was ill.
That was definitely ill, man.
You won't see French do nothing like that. French ain't got it for like that.
Nah. So I think it's subjective, and I think it's also the context of like where you hear it. Like Taboo Topics, you just talked about, you know, in your car, just cruising. You know what I'm saying? Just driving along. Like, you know, that French might hit better than that Kendrick Lamar just taking a ride to the store real quick or something like that. You feel me?
Yeah, you know, for me, it's like Block Boy shit. You know what I mean? Like what they call trap music now. That was our trap music, the music that French makes. So, you know, they make that type of music.
Yeah, if you like reality rap, then you're going to like French Montana. If you like bars and metaphors and things like that, you're going to like Kendrick.
Exactly.
There you go.
Now, of course, I will put Joyner Lucas up against Kendrick, but that's just me.
Yeah.
No doubt.
I really rock him, like for real. I think he got it.
Yeah, he definitely does, man. And how many times do you see Will Smith step in?
The new cast you talking about, listening to D Smoke, yo, from that Rhythm and Flow, was it?
Oh yeah.
The Rhythm and Flow? Now his joints is hot. Yo.
His album is crazy too. The album is crazy.
Yeah.
And I definitely slept on him. I definitely slept on him because of the reality show situation. You know, you kind of look at these reality shows and oftentimes when rappers have been involved with them, it's like, where did you find these people? Like their success doesn't translate afterwards, you know. But for this cat D Smoke, he definitely got a lot of depth with his music, and his music is fire too. It's not just preaching, you know. He definitely got some hits within the mix of that as well, and the OGs co-signing him. He got a joint with Snoop that's fire too.
Gotta check that out.
Yeah, D Smoke, man.
Yeah, definitely.
Word, man. So like for me, like right now, I just been working on revamping the Grustle Media brand. I've been working on a new website all this past week. I'm about to hopefully release that within the next couple days or so. Less focusing on promoting independent artists and just more focusing on direct projects that I'm involved with, like this podcast here, the Righteous Tongues podcast, and some of the other visuals that I'm working on. But I'm happy to announce and debut this news right here with you guys on the Convo that I just wrapped up the first episode on a project that I've been working on for a number of years in my head, titled The Mixtape Monument. It's going to be the quarantine edition. I'm going to be talking about mixtapes that shaped the culture, starting from the early 90s up until about 2012, 2013, because that's when I feel like the mixtape game really died. And when I say mixtape, yeah, I'm hear me out. When I say the mixtape game died, I mean in terms of how we used to listen to mixtapes back in the day with a DJ accompanying it. You know what I'm saying? Like at this point, you don't hear mixtapes with DJs with their drops on it, like clue, 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 or just random gunshots like Who Kid or DJ K Slade threatening your favorite DJ. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just different. Like the mixtapes that are coming out now are essentially albums. They're not really mixtapes. You don't hear no cutting and scratching. You don't hear no DJ drops. You know, the mixtapes that come out now, they're already CD quality. You know, so it's basically like the mixtape game as we know it is pretty much dead. You know, so I stopped like around that time, 2012, 2013, because right now when somebody drops a mixtape, there is no DJ on it. There's none of that. It's just the artist making songs. So the mixtape monument is something that I've been working on in my head for many years. Like, yo, I just want to pay homage to like different mixtapes. And it's not a competition thing. It's just like, yo, these are 5 mixtapes that I'm listening to this week. That's fire. Check this out. You know, and so that episode will be released soon under Everyday 9-6, which is kind of like an extension of Grustle Media. Audio archives and visual podcasts will kind of all be under the umbrella of Everyday 9-6. So I'm happy to announce that, and interested to see what people think about my picks. And then I also want people to chime in and say, you know, put me up on mixtapes that maybe I didn't hear during that period of time. But it was definitely one of my favorite periods of hip hop. You know, the mixtape era. Like I said, as we know it. It's not that mixtapes don't exist anymore, but it's just they're not the same. Like that same anticipation. Like, yo, you heard that new Clue tape that had this joint on it? Or you heard that new... It's not like that no more. Everything drops and everybody can hear it. Like when an album drops, it drops online. You can listen to it the same day on YouTube. It's not like you got to go out there and purchase it. You don't got to do that no more. We're in a new era, digital era of music. So, Mixtape Monument coming soon on GrustleMedia.com. So I just want to put that out there real quick.
Yeah, that's what's up. That's what's up. I will be listening to that, too.
Thank you, man. Thank you. And you can listen and watch because it's gonna be a little bit of both, man. So you know, that's
good move. Can't wait to hear that.
Yeah. So I'm just to piggyback off what I'm talking about in terms of this pandemic is like. Although it's sad in a lot of instances, like we got to take this time and try to turn on the creative juices a little bit. And I feel like you're going to see a lot of people come out of this pandemic with new businesses or at least new ideas and just kind of like following up on those dreams that you always had and you just never had the time to really do it because, you know, we working all the time. Now, for Mr. Taboo Topics, you still at work on a regular basis, but you know, I'm still sure you have a little bit more time on your hands due to the pandemic than you probably would since you're not going out and about, right?
I mean, I got 2 dogs. You know what I'm saying, man? I come in the crib. I relax. I like to catch up on new things, what's going on. So I do YouTube and watching, catching up on latest things that are popping up, especially with music, comedy, and just societal topics in general. So I mean, I spend a lot of my time inside. Like I don't really need to go out that much.
True.
Especially with this going on, you know. Um, so yeah.
I wanted to ask you, since you brought that up.
Me like that.
Okay. What is a YouTube channel that you could recommend for the listeners right now? Like, what's a YouTube channel that you checking out that captures your interest?
Well, there's just one. There's two guys, Abba and Preach. Talk about a lot of different important topics, funny topics, cultural topics. They're both comedians, but it's a nice mix of seriousness and comedy mixed in. Abba and Preach, ABA and Preach, like the preacher.
Okay.
So that's one of them I check on definitely daily to check out what they putting out. On the music side, I just check out what's going on. Fabulous drops a new song, Bombs. I mean, that's pretty dope. So Fabulous still doing his thing.
Yeah, shout out to Fab.
Checking out Joe Button TV every once in a while. They be on there wilding. Especially everybody locked in now. Talking about the COVID, to get different people's opinions and see where everybody's head's at.
Yeah.
Of course, Vlad TV. I know a lot of people have some issues with Vlad, but hey man.
Yeah. It is what it is, and I must say, I met Vlad 15 years ago, and Vlad is one of the only industry people that I can honestly say that I've reached out to and gotten a response from. He actually posted an interview that I did with him at the Mixtape Awards 15 years ago on his page, and off the strength of that, I don't really have anything bad to say about him. If you don't like his content, don't watch his show for the most part. But obviously, artists and comedians and actors, they're going up there. There's something about him that they enjoy. He definitely has one of the biggest channels in urban entertainment, and his interview skill is something different. But hey, it's him. That's what he's doing. And like I said, I've reached out to a lot of industry dudes over the years for various things. Not to ask for no handouts and no favors, just to kind of network. And I have to honestly say, Vlad was one of the only people that built the correspondence with me via email. And I appreciate that in this finicky game, as you just talked about, Hobson, escaping and getting away. This game is so wicked sometimes, man. A lot of bull crap that happens within the music industry, yo. So when you meet somebody that's somewhat genuine, it definitely sticks out in your mind, even if their content leaves more to be desired at times. But nah, man, shout out to Vlad, yo, for real.
Yeah, definitely rock with Vlad. People try to call him but I haven't seen it. Most definitely.
No doubt. Skilly, any YouTube channels that you could recommend for the listeners, man? Y'all might
on YouTube I'll be watching Battle Truth. Basically be keeping 100 on the battles and anything basically that has to do with urban culture. Also hot boxing with Mike.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Fire.
That right there.
Fire.
The Expeditiously with T.I. I'll be watching that on YouTube. Young Pharaoh, I'll be watching him on YouTube. He be on a conspiracy type thing.
I just saw one of my first Young Pharaoh videos this morning, and I will say definitely some interesting things that he's talking about, especially regarding this pandemic. Definitely interesting.
Yeah. And other than that, a lot of comedy, man. I've been on IG, since this quarantine situation, man. There's been a lot of things on IG, man. So I ain't really been on YouTube. I'll be watching, quarantine radio and Boosie. That's where I'll be hearing these new songs, yo, because I'll be listening to Boosie and all that, and I'll be watching his live, yo, and he be playing all these new joints and all that, and I'm like, yo, all right, whatever floats your boat, man.
Yeah, man. It's a lot of creativity coming out at this period of time, and you get to see the resiliency of people, even through tumultuous times, and how we're able to like be creative and still entertain, still make people laugh instead of cry. So shout out to Tory Lanez and Boosie, man, for keeping our spirits up, man.
Boss, yo, but also Gilly, man. I got to let him, yo. I should check Gilly's live, yo. Gilly the Kid.
I just saw him what he said about Georgia reopening and his response to his criticism he was taking from what he said this morning. So that's fresh in my mind. Yeah, Gilly's definitely a character, man. Well, he's talking some truth, though. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. His live show is hilarious, hilarious. And it was funny this morning live with TR too, talking about that.
No doubt. Well, listen, man, we are nearing up on the 50-minute mark of the Convo podcast for this special quarantine edition. I want to thank my two highly respected, highly intelligent co-hosts today. My man, Mr. Taboo Topics. Where can people find you if they hear you and they say, I want to know more about this dude? Do you want to give out your Instagram information or Facebook information, whatever you want to leave the people with?
Well, Instagram is PJTZM.
I'll have that up there. True. Mr. Eskille, where can the people find you to holler at you if they like what they hear or they want to hire you to do some voiceovers?
Well, you can definitely reach me on IG, E_SKILL_E. And, also got the Soundcloud, Eskille, Soundcloud. And if you want to support a brother, and if you're into pop music, you can go cop that POLARISCOPE single that's out right now on iTunes, on Spotify, Apple Music, wherever you want to listen to your music at. POLARISCOPE, Eskille featuring Mike. Holla.
Yup, and that's out. And by the time this gets released, they will also have access to extra promotion on the Grustle Media soundtrack, 100 Miles in Grustling. It is currently out right now on iTunes, Spotify, YouTube, featuring hit records from Eskille, who we have on the line right now. We got Graham, who is an extraordinary R&B writer, singer, producer. He got a couple joints on there. Deezy, Divine Zill, Barry Black, Jersey Raw, Bounce on Deck, Be Heathen. Pretty much the whole PLFD New Jersey family is represented on the Grustle Media soundtrack. And it's just something to, to work out with, drive to work with, chill on the block with, or just listen to on the quarantine with. The Grustle Media soundtrack, 100 Miles in Grustling. And when I revamp the site, you'll see all the listening stations there. So you could definitely check that out. We appreciate the support. So you can cop that on iTunes or just listen on Spotify. Either way, it's all good.
Oh, yeah.
Do that. Shout out to Plainfield. Shit, you got to pull me back now. The last album that I almost could listen the whole way through was the Firm album.
Ooh.
I remember being on 6th Street, banging that joint.
Oh! Yo, no doubt. I was going to ask you what was the last album. I thought it would have been a Jay album, man, because you was a big Jay-Z supporter back in the days, man.
But, I mean, like him too. Like sometimes I gotta be in a certain mood, But I mean, he definitely has the best quality. Him and M, I would say, have the best quality for me.
Yeah.
As far as lyrics, beats combined. But this nigga Joyner, man, I hate to keep repeating it, but Joyner's that dude right now, man. And I definitely see him doing some things, man.
Nah, King Los. I was saying if you be listening to him.
King Los?
Yeah.
Nah, King OSF. But he's the dude that got introduced him. Like the second to last track, him, Joyner, and Fab, Still Can't Love off of Joyner's album. That's another young dude that's got some heat, man.
You said LOS?
OSF.
Oh, OSS. I got you.
Oh, I got it. Nah, but check out Flows, yo, because if you like lyrics and things like that, bro, like for real.
Definitely check that out.
mixtape, More Bars, I think. Moor Bars, I think.
Yep.
Like, he got a whole bunch of different mixtapes.
Yeah, King Los is nice, man. He used to be signed to Bad Boy. He did a lot of ghostwriting for Diddy and a number of other artists. But he's definitely fire. Another guy that doesn't get, the respect that he deserves in terms of being a lyricist. Sometimes it's all about that package, like how the labels, how the radio stations and television and media embraces you. Like if you don't get that embrace, you could be nice as hell and nobody will even pay attention. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And going back to something said earlier about giving like Godson, people not getting their dues while they're here. Shout out to Joyner Lucas for making the Will song about Will Smith about that exact topic.
Oh hell yeah. And shout out to Will for responding. You know what I'm saying? That made it even more dope that Will responded the way that he did.
Yeah, him, Jaden, and Will, Joyner had a three-way, on IG, and went over the whole video and everything.
Yeah, I saw that. That was fire.
So, definitely. I mean, that's what I'm saying, man. Joyner's a different dude, yeah. Like, he was giving out, money to single females and stuff like that. I mean, he's real into it with his fans.
That's the type of artists that are going to push the culture forward. The ones that remember, the pioneers and the ones that take care of the people that support them, man. So, big ups to him, man. So this was dope, man. I definitely appreciate y'all time today. Definitely appreciate y'all expertise and y'all knowledge. We're going to chop this up and get this out there to the people. Right now, ladies and gentlemen, you're listening to the Convo podcast. I'm your host, D.Bail. And my special guests today were Eskille and Mr. Taboo Topics. And all their information will be displayed on the screen so you can get in touch with them for a variety of different things. And you probably will see them back on the platform sometime soon. So I want to thank y'all for listening. Remember, GrustleMedia.com. Please subscribe. And also please subscribe to the YouTube page, Grustle Media USA. Peace and love, y'all. Until next time. Be safe out there.